Cool. Hey guys. So essentially for this week, we are well into to smart contracts on Soroban, and I just want to share some more information with you guys about the content, so you can actually get a good idea of what we're doing going forward. Hopefully, this is the right one. Can you guys see my screen? Cool. Let me just share this in the chat. So here is the link to that course. So obviously we've done the first three. We're on day 4 with the task manager. So for this, you basically have a full layout. So what's cool about this is you can actually think about, this is how you'd want to structure your programming, where you basically have itemized tasks. What are your prerequisites? What is your knowledge requirement? What is the development environment? Like, it's structured in a way that allows you actually to figure out what's going on. So what with this, you're going to have the following learning objectives: understanding how to use enums to represent different states, explain transition rules and validations, describe the difference between simple and complex authorization, understand the concept of resource ownership in smart contracts. So these skills are basically going to allow you to implement state machines using Rust enums, create authorization logic that checks ownership, update existing data in contract storage, and validate storage transitions before allowing change, return success failure indicators from functions, and apply type storage key pattern learned in guest book. So this is building on the last one. And essentially, you guys just need to go through the content to figure out what's going on. So it'll have the introduction, like why are you building this, because you need to understand enums. You need to check who owns what resource for validation. Like if you're building another type of smart contract, you're going to be using these things because you have to actually validate who is the person that wants to interact with the smart contract. Should they be allowed to? State transitions, so the rules for changing from one state to another, update operations, modify existing data safety, types of storage, typed storage keys, which is building on patterns from the guest book. So essentially, if you want to build like a project management system, workflow automation, order processing, document approval flows, gaming, NFT marketplace, all of these components really show you how to do this, and that's why you want to build this. So while it may seem like a boring task in terms of task management, it does have real world applications and how you'd be able to develop the solution. And then basically you're going to go through, wait, do you guys have any questions?
No, none yet.
Cool. So essentially the it's really about, I think, like going through this. So the conceptual overview, what you're actually building, like why you actually have these features, what the features are. So data mutability, authorization, state transition, error handling, storage keys, validation, like where they were used in the past project, where they can be used in the next project. And then it goes through each of the components for you to really look and understand it. Obviously, drawing things like this is essential to actually figuring out contracts and design. I'm just curious, do you guys actually, when you code, do you actually draft how things are supposed to work, or do you just like have steps, or what's your process for building? Miles?
Yeah, no, for me, always diagrams. The first pseudocode, then diagrams, and then actual code.
Okay, nice. And you, Tazio?
I first start coding actually, and then I see how far I can go, and then I'll actually go to the drawing board and work from there. It's a very backwards way of thinking, but that helps me figure out what I know and then to go and learn what I don't know yet, and then work from there.
Okay, cool. So I'm opposite. I start with like documentation, figuring out what's going on, what I'm doing, what I'm going to execute when. Then I might go into diagrams and putting everything in a workflow. And then from there, I'll actually start coding. But that also means that I can like vibe code a lot faster. So, you know what I mean? If you can train the machine, and the current state of development now is actually focused on that, well, for speed. But then also like looking at things like this. So you basically have like your storage layout, contract functions. But yeah, I think this is like something that you guys really need to look at, so you can understand what's going on. There is a lot, but all the way at the end, you basically have, sorry, this is really a lot. You have a final smart contract. So this is what the complete smart contract will look like. So you guys can set this up and run it. Have you guys managed to set up your testnet environments where you can actually compile code on testnet and do all of that? Okay, cool, guys. So no stress. Like, it is something that you need to look at. But I also want to give you guys a lot of time tonight because there is a lot to go through. I cannot cover this in an hour. And so instead of doing that, I thought it would be better for you to actually, like, you basically have test cases that you can use as well. So you run these tests either as separate files, or you can, and yeah, you can implement them to see how you can do all of these various things, like create a test task, create multiple tasks, test complete task twice, test complete task unauthorized, test get non-existent task, test complete non-existent task, test empty task count, and test task ownership. So, you know what I mean? Like, even with the simple smart contract, you need to execute all 9 of these tests just to understand what is actually happening. And you can run cargo tests. So you see, you can create all of these tests separately, and then you can run them in one concurrent output. So this is what happens when you do cargo test and you set them up. Have you guys played around with testing yet in other smart contracts? Tazio?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, cool. No, it's a lot of fun actually being able to test. The only thing, the really funny thing is that, like, with testing, is that you can't find all the edge cases. Actually, let's see if I can find something cool to share with you guys. So this weekend I was doing research on smart contract vulnerabilities, and how if there's bad logic in smart contracts, you can execute smart contracts. You can exploit those vulnerabilities to have funds withdrawn from the smart contract itself. But what's actually happened is that because of transactional sniping, you can actually have people that front run you using mempools to actually take an advantage of that opportunity. So it poses a very interesting risk to how you run smart contracts and why you need to test for all of these things. I'll share it in the group, and then you guys can tell me what you think. It was very interesting about like the dark forest of Ethereum. But obviously there's similar edge cases in terms of what can happen in Stellar or with Soroban, because it's all about bad code. Sorry.
Does that particular front running vulnerability exist on Stellar as well? Well, I thought it was just an Ethereum thing.
So it exists anywhere where there is a mempool. So anywhere that you have, so because of this fast transaction time, it would be harder to execute on Stellar. But that doesn't mean that certain, you know, there's opportunities, but it's a limited opportunity. So there isn't that much of the exploit available on Stellar. It's the speed of execution. So basically, the reason why the speed of execution in Bitcoin or Ethereum would be, it's because of the length of time to block execution. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So Yeah. Okay.
Sorry,
Cool. Sorry.
I derailed you there, but sorry.
No, it's fine. It's basically it's a good question because in terms of because the blocks are executed so fast, there is and isn't a vulnerability. But the ability to execute that block is limited. In terms of Ethereum, you would have to go, or in terms of protocols that aren't using miners, you would have to go to that are using miners. Sorry, you would have to go to a miner directly to mine it. And this is one of the vulnerabilities that was kind of removed by them going to proof of stake instead of proof of work. To a limited extent. It's not, you know what I mean? There's always different vulnerabilities in different executions. So in some ways, it actually makes it more dangerous because whatever you execute gets executed. But yeah. And then here's a whole bunch of exercises that you guys need to do with this code. So add inline progress status, add task deletion, and then add task description update. And they have varying levels of complexity. Get tasks by owner, so you can understand those things. Add task priority, and here's all the questions, answers. I'm not going to show you an answer because that defeats the points. But then here's all the summary components and additional homework assignments. So you guys need to go through all of this. It's going to take you a while. And then we're basically looking at Task Manager, which is this guy here. So this is the video that you guys would need to watch in terms of today's class. Let me just check. Yes, that's this one. And it's basically for your smart contracts. I'm going to put that in the chat as well. But I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. I wanted to keep today nice and short and sweet because you actually have a lot of self-coding homework to do. Is that good for everyone? Does everyone need any help with the assignment and the homework? Cool. Okay, cool, guys. I'm gonna end it for tonight. It was lovely chatting with all of you guys. Just stick around for a sec and we can chat after class. Okay, cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Cool, guys. Hello, Quilleen. How are you doing? Sorry, Quilleen. Are you there? But yeah, so as you can see, guys, it's like savagely brutal today. And yeah, that's why I wanted to keep it short. I don't know if you guys have the time. Like Tazio, I know you're busy. Miles, do you also have the time to actually go through all of this stuff today?
No, dude.
The brutality. Yeah, no, it's all good, dude. It's all good. But then it'll basically carry on from next week to the week after. Or until the end of this week. Well, basically the homework is all up there. You guys can go through to day 5, day 6, check it out. I think the better way to do this stuff is go through it with AI, so you can actually get it to teach you what you understand and don't understand. Ask questions, it'll teach you. You know what I mean? You can just basically dump the whole, either the content or the link to the content, and you'll be able to actually have interactive chats with it. Have you guys played with Mozilla yet? Mozilla and Firefox ChatGPT integrations and stuff. Well, it's all integrations.
No, I have not.
It's amazing, dude. It's literally, it's integrated directly into the browser. So you can highlight any bit of text and you can basically ask ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, not Gemini, all the other ones. You can ask it to do stuff with you and it will like literally give you answers. It's literally like, and you don't have to even log in. It just gives you help, like whether you want to log in or not.
But like on the browser.
On your browser, in your browser, dude.
That's insane.
So it literally like pops up on a window, it shrinks your screen a bit, it pops up on the left side or the right side or wherever you want to put it really, and then it starts giving you input about what you learn, like what you want to know, and you can either give it the text or you can ask it specific questions about the text.
Can it see my browser history?
No. You'd have to give it your browser history. It's only what page you're on. So you have to highlight something, and then you have to right-click, and you say, ask ChatGPT or whatever, or summarize or whatever.
Okay, that's good, because you should never look at another man's browser history.
True. Like, have you put in good protocols for someone to delete your browser history when you die?
No. No,
Yeah.
that all gets exposed once I go.
Oh, once you go, you don't care.
Yeah,
Fair
I'm
enough.
done.
Fair enough. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, cool. No. So I've got a standing contract. So with a couple of people, first one that gets to my house deletes the browser history. I don't know how they're gonna do it though, because it becomes complicated because like no one has my password. But essentially, there's a good way to delete browser history, and it's called a baseball bat or a pry.
A bucket of water.
No, not a bucket of water. So it's a pry. 800 degrees.
Oh, okay.
So at 800 degrees, all magnets lose magnetism.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
So that basically you melt the plates, and if you demagnetize the plates, they stop working. Same with CPU. Same with RAM as well. You have to do the same thing. RAM you can just put in a microwave to like fry it.
Cool.
Hard drives not so much.
Cool.
Like hard drives, you need to use thermite, dude. Like.
Not my baseball bat.
No, not your baseball bat. Well, you know what I mean? Like the actual security behind it. Like there's actually a Tom Clancy book about it. You should read it. I can't remember what it was called. It's about some dude who invents quantum computers to overthrow the world, and it's Tom Clancy. You know what I mean? So it's like that clandestine American like spy super agent type stuff. But it actually the science behind his stuff is always good, and he consults.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, with label guys. Like he did the games like Rainbow Six.
Yep.
And then he did a whole bunch of other series, and like you know what I mean. He's really good with his writing. But yeah, so it's cool. But yeah, that one was about like how basically it was kind of like a crypto supercomputer. So it was But anyway, the stuff I said about mempools is how you would get Satoshi's money. Part of that puzzle of getting Satoshi's money is having access to the mempool directly with a miner, but you would have to be that miner. So, you know, Satoshi's money is just sitting there and you need to crack the code and you can get all his money, right? So essentially to do that, what you would need to do is you would need to crack it with quantum computing, but to execute your first transaction, you would need to have that transaction not front run by anyone, because all the transactions are kind of available in the mempool. So if you have a transaction like that, you know what I mean? Because but anyway, if you got a couple of billion that's just sitting there, because what is that a million? 1 million BTC. Like what is that worth in
100 billion
USD? Ooh, that's a big number, dude.
Yeah, man.
So that is 71 billion right now.
And now you get front run.
So you know what I mean? So to execute that transaction, you would need like there's no way you can't be the miner to pull that off. You know what I mean? Someone will rob you, dude, like somewhere along the line. So
100%, yeah, 100.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So before your wife beats me, just let her know tonight I gave you 30 minutes. So I want 30 minutes back at some point. She'll probably fucking beat me, dude. She'll come there and just get violent, dude. But yeah. Tazio, like, how's things with you, bud? Like, are you okay, my friend? Don't feel so like, I don't know. You sound very worn out, dude.
Yeah, I'm very tired. This week we have 7 Java projects still.
Oh, crazy. Can I suggest something for you?
I guess.
Creatine.
To focus.
No, actually, what it does is it will give you focus. But what it does is it gives you more energy, but it gives you more brain energy. So I use creatine because my kids don't let me sleep. Because I've got 4 of them and they're all under 10. But because they don't let me sleep, creatine actually cuts through all the noise and keeps me wide awake. In a good way. I can sleep with creatine. I don't have any of those problems. I just take like 2 grams or whatever, 1.7 or 1.5 grams. I don't know what I take. And then basically I just use a scoop. I know what size my scoop is supposed to be, so I stopped weighing. But essentially you take it and it actually you take it with sugar, and you just avoid drinking coffee, because coffee and creatine bind to the same receptor in your body. So you should avoid it with coffee, but you must take it with like fruit juice or something, because sugar helps with the uptake of creatine. But then by doing that, it basically, instead of you running out of ADP, which is adenosine triphosphate, because your body has to convert ADP or diphosphate into triphosphate, and you have very little triphosphate in your body that makes you super strong or makes you super alert and stuff like that. If you take creatine, it actually boosts the amount that you have in your body, and it cuts through all of that. So you don't actually have brain fog. You don't feel tired. You will still feel tired, but you're not mentally tired. Do you know what I mean?
So what kind of creatine though?
Monohydrate. So creatine monohydrate, I would recommend Biogen, because it's the cheapest on the market and it's fairly clean. You can't, like creatine, you can't really mess with it, but their creatine is really clean. If you want to look at a better brand, you could look at that, what is it, like Junkie one? What is it called? I don't know, the Junkie brand, where it's called Junkie something. You can also get it at Discount. But Biogen is cheap and it's exactly what you need. And you just basically put a scoop of that don't take 5 grams. The instruction on the box is 5 grams. You don't need 5 grams. You'll basically have a lot of water weight on your body if you don't exercise. But you take like 1 to 2 grams, maybe 1.5, 2 grams with like maybe half a teaspoon of sugar, just to get that sugar thing in there. Or you can have it with fruit juice and then you're good to go. I would actually, I take it with amino acids. So I take my normal dose of amino acids and then I put my creatine in that, because the amino acids have sweeteners for I don't know what reason, but they do.
I will look into that. Does that need to concentrate?
Yeah, bro. And if you really want to dump some money, then you can start looking at omega. But then you have to get really good omega. Don't get the omega that's like Dischem brand or whatever, or the Vita whatever. Like you need to get what is it, Nature's Choice or something like that, or Nature's something. It comes in a round container, but get that one because that one has higher EPA and DHA, and those are the things you need. An equal ratio to act, and high concentration, like 450, 500 DHA, EPA. 350 is good, but most of the ones that you're going to get out of the cheaper brands aren't good. You're going to have to take like 8, 9 tablets before it actually has the measurable effect of the other stuff that's better. But trust, it'll sort you out, bro. Like I actually dig biohacking. So you must check out biohacking as well if you've got a chance, in terms of your brain and how you can do things.
I will. Yeah, thank you.
It's a pleasure, dude. Tazio, I hope I see you tomorrow. And you've got this, dude. Like, don't stress. Get a good night's sleep, dude. Because sleep is also important to being awake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Where are you applying to? You're going to work in Cape Town, right?
Yes.
Do you know which department or where in Cape Town?
Not at all. I just saw it there and then I applied.
And you got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
If you figure out a bit more, I can reach out to some of my contacts in Amazon.
Okay.
Okay, cool. No luck that I'll be able to help you. No guarantee, you know what I mean? Because I actually don't know where anyone is based at the moment, in terms of who's in Spain and who's in Japan and who's where. Like, I just know I have chatted to lots of people at Amazon before. I've actually got contacts with the Amazon local guys. Actually, I do. So yeah, let me know. They're focused on the startup side. I don't know anyone in the internship side, but I can find out for you and then see if I can put in a good word.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure, dude. We got to help each other out, dude.
Yeah. We can't move forward alone.
Sorry?
We can't move forward alone.
Yeah, we can't. You're going to go, if you want to go far, you have to go together. If you want to go alone, if you want to go quick, go alone. You know what I mean? And we want to go far. We don't want to go quick.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, cool. Tazio, it was dope. I'll chat to you later. Miles, it was lovely chatting to you. I'll chat to you tomorrow.
Cool, guys.
Sweet. Enjoy the rest of your night. Cheers,
You
guys.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.